Hello all and welcome back to another video. For you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Neil Henry and I work with different businesses on AI automations to help them enhance their workflows. In this video, I want to talk about why I build free legal tools as a non-attorney. So I'm not a lawyer, so you may ask yourself, why did I spend all this time building out these free AI tools for attorneys? And in this video, I'm going to discuss those different reasons. And just as a disclaimer, put it out there, I've never taken a bar exam. I have no stake in the outcome of any case, so why exactly would I be doing this all? And generally speaking, I do this because I like providing value to others. I've worked in a lot of different industries, and what I've noticed specifically in the legal space is a lot of the real work should be spent on judgment, on handling cases, not on all the back-end administrative tasks, all the menial work which is repetitive. And I've noticed that in this space, there's a lot of that repetitive work. So, professional of real training, he spends the first hour of every day on data entry, potentially on email drafts, and chasing down information that should already be organized. The things that they're good at, such as the judgment, which requires very unique expertise, this is squeezed into the remaining hours of the day, rather than that being allocated for the entire day. So when I look at legal practices, especially solo and maybe small firms, the same pattern is always very obvious, and it always follows this exact same trajectory. So what I have right here is, this is just a blog article, part of my blog article. I'll have it linked down below in the description of the video. This is generally speaking where the hours typically speaking go. So there's, on one hand, is the legal judgment, case strategy, legal arguments, and client decisions, for example. And on the other hand is informational administrative tasks, things such as first drafts, intake notes, deposition summaries, demand letters, data extractions, and engagement letters, amongst other things as well. And the reason we break it down into these two separate categories, although they're all a part of the process, the first category actually requires expertise, what you went to law school for. Whereas the secondary category, the informational task, this is very administrative. It doesn't require that same level of expertise. It doesn't require that same level of judgment. And all these are automated, repetitive tasks, which follow very similar formatting and structures. So the way that these AI tools work, I've shared a lot of these AI tools on the YouTube page as well as in all the blog posts, which are linked on my website, neilbuildsai.com. These tasks, first drafts, intake notes, deposition summaries, etc., they can all very much be automated, or the bulk of it can be handled via AI rather than spending a lot of time manually completing these tasks. And AI can handle it in less than a minute, sometimes less than 30 seconds, sometimes even less than 10 seconds, depending on how much information is passed in and how long it takes the AI to process it. But generally speaking, it takes a very long, repetitive, tedious task and compresses it down so where at least you have the draft version and it reduces at least 80% of the time spent that you would otherwise be spending on that specific task. Because for a lot of these things, it's just not really worth it to do it from scratch. When the AI is able to pull the dates, the facts, etc., structure it in a specific way that you want, summarize it, and format it for you in whatever workflow you need it for. And this is exactly where AI is very precise and very useful. Not because it practices law, but because it handles information assembly at ease. That's what AI is very much its forte is. It takes text, it's able to read that text, process that text, and format it to do whatever you want it to do. Now when it comes to inferences, when it comes to judgment, when it comes to very specialized expertise, that's where it falters and doesn't have the same expertise as somebody that went to law school that understands all the minor nuances and implications. So why, you may ask, do I make all these tools free? Generally speaking, my principle has always been to provide free value to everybody, educate others on how to utilize AI, how to make their life simpler, and through that value, you'll also trust me. And I think it's a mutual process. We work together, I provide you the value, and then in turn, maybe you provide me the value back at some point as well. And I think this is the best way. I like to be very transparent with everything I do, and these free resources, one, I think are going to help you. It's going to help you save time. I hope to expand my influence in the space and help many others, and through that process, we mutually benefit, right? So, disclaimer, and I've always said this in other videos as well, AI, it handles drafting, it handles extraction of facts from documents, it handles structuring of notes in JSON format or other types of formats that you would desire. It handles summarization of transcripts. It flags potentially missing info that you may have not considered. Why? As all these are just taking information and assembling it in a different form. This is stuff that AI is very straightforward, and it's just a matter of text interpretation, which AI excels at. Again, when it comes to judgment, when it requires specific licensing and schooling, things such as legal accuracy of output, jurisdiction and strategy, client judgment calls, what to send and when, signatures and responsibility, this is up to the attorney. And I definitely do not recommend that you place that responsibility, you abdicate that responsibility to the AI. That's where problems arise. AI, now there are specific tools out there which are attempting to do this. AI, in my belief, is best when it's not giving legal advice, when it's just assembling the information instead. Because look, AI doesn't understand whether the liability assessment is right or whether the medical specials are accurate. It just produces a starting point by which you can work on afterwards, that you can review, that you can edit, and that you take your own responsibility for. So, you may ask, where is this going? I plan to add more tools. This is just the beginning. I plan to sit there and educate you guys on AI. There are many different use cases, one of my free tools, as well as utilizing tools such as ChatGPT, such as Claude from Anthropic, LLMs. I'm going to show you different workflows, different principles, and hopefully I'm going to educate you in the process to where you'll be able to do this on your own, or if you need assistance, I'm there to help you. So that's it for essentially for the video. I hope you guys took something out of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in working with me, one, I'll have this blog post corresponding to this video linked down below in the description of the video, as well as a link to my website where you can book a call, whether you're looking for AI automations, you have any specific questions about AI, or whether you're looking to work with me. That's all available, and we can talk. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll have another video coming out shortly. Until next time.